August 4th, 2018, TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt are set to fight for the second time. A rematch following a second-round knockout win for Dillashaw in November of 2017. But their feud goes back way before that, all the way to September of 2015, when TJ left his longtime camp, Team Alpha Male, led by Urijah Faber.
I've been stuck in between Urijah and Duane Ludwig for this last camp, going back and forth to my training camp, and these guys bickering at each other and making it tough on me. And I just felt, with the team they have out there, with the coaches they have out there, I felt a little more comfortable with spending my camp out there. And, he took it pretty hard, and I was actually forced out of the gym. I'm not allowed to work out at Alpha Male anymore because of that decision I made. I live in Sacramento. I've lived in Sacramento the last 6 years, and I've been putting in a lot of work here and helping the guys out as much as possible. I teach kickboxing classes on Mondays and Thursdays, and that's just not really going to fly with me.
What started as an issue between TJ and Urijah quickly spread to the rest of Team Alpha Male, with new camp star Cody Garbrandt speaking out against TJ.
He could have stayed. Him trying to play the victim and this and that. It's not how it is. It was a grown man decision for him to leave. If we're not good enough for you, then why are you going to come in the gym and train with us and go out to Colorado and do your training there? I think you're just playing the victim, and it's we're all tight with them. It's all cool. It's it's just making it harder. Do you want to stay with us or you want to go out there? You can't be in between. So that's where I stand on it. Like I said, I talked to TJ before. I said, I wish you nothing but the best. But when and if when we come down to fight, I'm going to look forward to it. I said, you're the world champion, and that you have what we all want.
Things got even more heated when Dillashaw and Garbrandt served as coaches on the 25th season of The Ultimate Fighter in 2015. Early promos for the season featured a shocking moment where Garbrandt put his hands around TJ's throat and attacked him. As the season aired and Dillashaw's team continued to win, fight after fight, Garbrandt came out on Twitter and started accusing Dillashaw of using performance-enhancing drugs. As their fight at UFC 217 approached, their verbal attacks only got worse. And with a month left to go, Garbrandt and Urijah Faber went on the Joe Rogan Experience to claim Dillashaw regularly injured Team Alpha Male training partners during sparring, going so far as to end Chris Holdsworth's career by kneeing him in the head and giving him a concussion. Holdsworth confirmed the account on the MMA Hour.
I was like, hey, let's go. I was always up for the fight. But, there was multiple occasions where, TJ got a little bit too aggressive. He went overboard in training. He's kneeing you while we're boxing. He's throwing elbows while we're doing jiu-jitsu. And, I remember that instance that's out in the public is definitely true. I shot in on TJ and, I was on all fours. He was sprawled out and he kneed me on top of the head. And that was before the Ultimate Fighter. And I remember I was kind of jarred up and, everyone was watching. And I took 30 seconds off, but I kept going. I kept going through the rounds and I finished practice. But after that practice, I was concussed. And that was my first concussion. And it just kind of, kept happening from there.
Do you feel like that was a line that was crossed? It's one thing to say you're
There's
ahead.
been lots of lines crossed with their trash talk and their accusations on me throughout these last however long since Urijah was trying to get the fight with Cruz. There's been a lot of trash talk that's crossed the line, and that I'll never be able to forgive the guys that have crossed the line. That is complete bullcrap. Even just the way everything has gone down will prove that to you. So from the way it went down, they said that I got submitted by Chris Holdsworth, and then I kneed him in the back of the head while he was grounded and in between after the round or whatever it may be. So you're telling me that I'm kneeing people in the back of the head in between rounds and ruining their careers, but you want me to stay on your team? You're not going to kick me off the team. You'd rather fight to have me stay on the team, and you're angry that I left. How does that make sense whatsoever? If I'm a loose cannon like that, how does that make any sense whatsoever? Why would you be angry that I'm leaving? If that was the case, if I was doing those kinds of things, I should be kicked off.
The hits kept coming with a week to go before the fight, as Garbrandt released security cam footage of a sparring session where he claimed he knocked TJ Dillashaw out.
And it happened to be the video, and it's funny that though they decide to stop the video when they do, they don't continue it. Because I do remember him talking about this video, and I told him I never got knocked out because it's the truth. And he got called out on it on the Rogan podcast where, he does knock me down, and I get up and I guess I yell at him and I continue to spar. Actually, almost looks like it's almost looks worse for him to continue to talk about this one time. Because if it was a regular thing, why do you need to post this one video? You know what I mean?
Dillashaw made Garbrandt and Team Alpha Male pay for all the smack talk though, with a comeback win at 217. Staggered halfway through the first round, TJ came back in the second to knock Garbrandt out with a left high kick, a big left hand, and some serious ground and pound. According to Dillashaw, it was the disrespectful talk from Cody's corner that got him hyped up for round 2.
They did walk back to the corner, and I heard their cornerman being jerks like they've been the whole camp saying they got my number. We got your effing number, Dillashaw. We got your effing number. I heard that. And as soon as I heard that, I turned back to the corner and was like, all right, let's get our together.
But the win would not end the rivalry between Dillashaw and Team Alpha Male.
Was willing to come up to me and shake my hand was Justin Buckles.
Wow.
All the other guys are still seeming pretty bitter. They put a lot on this. They put their whole legacy of Team Alpha Male behind Cody. They put a lot of pressure on that guy to live up to what they wanted him to be. And I didn't feel like that was really fair to him either. But they put all their eggs into Cody, and I smashed them. I smashed their dreams. I smashed who they were. And so they're all bitter about it.
Afterwards, the UFC would try to put together a quick turnaround rematch between Dillashaw and Garbrandt, something TJ would turn down.
June 9th, whoever it is, if it's not TJ, it'll be a Sensao, and that was it. And then TJ wants to go on there and talk all kinds of saying that I don't deserve this and that, deserve the title. He worked 2 years to get it back. That's because he feels like he's entitled because he's lived with a silver spoon. He's been spoon-fed with that thing, you know what I mean? He's never had to come in over any adversity, you know what I mean?
Once the rematch was set for UFC 227 in August, the mental warfare was back on in a big way, with Cody taking serious issue with TJ screaming in his face after the fight.
I walked out of the octagon and I was like, you know what? I remember saying, I'm gonna remember everything about this. Everything about this walk back to the, without my belt. TJ getting in my face after I was knocked out, you know what I mean? I know damn well that dude would never, ever do that if there wasn't that referee in there. Never, ever. He's a coward.
No, man, I love getting rich for knocking Cody out. It's great, man.
No matter which way the rematch goes down, we expect this beef war to continue until one man retires the other.